This instructional video is the MOD3 outfitting in the whitewater kayaks. It consists of 3 modules. 1, the spine, which is the underneath piece. 2 is the cradle, and 3 is the seat. Each whitewater kayak has a foam rear pillar and a foam front pillar. Except for the Solo. The Solo has a plastic front pillar. This plastic front pillar is in case you get in a vertical pin, you can use this section here to put your foot in and step out of it, as well as when you're portaging to use it as a carry handle. The Element and the Nemesis have foam foot blocks. These are wedged into the front of the boat and glued with contact adhesive. They come in 50mm strips that can be placed in order depending on the length and size of the kayaker. What you need to do is take the T-piece out and wedge it up front. Once it's in place, you need to decide how many of the foam wedges you need to then insert in order to make it a great fit for you. I suggest that you push the wedges in place without glue to start till you've got a proper fit. And once you know your exact fit, then glue them in place with contact adhesive that is available from any hardware store. The Detox and the Solo have an adjustable plastic foot rail that is adjustable depending on the length of the kayaker. If this foot rail is pulled too close, there will be a small gap in the top and bottom. In that case, a second foam piece is supplied, and this may be glued in the front with contact adhesive in order to eliminate that gap and make the boat safer. The Solo and Detox have a slightly different foot brace system. It is adjusted by this rail, this aluminium rail. What you've got to do is loosen the 2 knob nuts on the left and the 2 knob nuts on the right. Once you have them off, you pull the aluminium rail away from the bolt and adjust according to your height. Place the rail back in position and screw the knob nuts back on. You have now successfully adjusted the foot rail. If your hips are too loose in the kayak, you need to put the hip pad shim in between the hip pad and the plastic piece. In order to do this, you loosen the back straps to loosen the hip pad and feed the shim in between the plastic piece and the hip pad. Pulling the straps tight to secure it in place. This will then give you a tighter fit around the hips. If you need to move your seat forward or backwards, depending on your length, what you do is you loosen the hip pads to start by loosening these buckles on the left hand side and right hand side of the boat. They do not have to come off, they just have to be loose. Once it is loose, you take the knob nuts, which are the nuts holding the seat in position. You then will be able to lift the seat up and either move it forward or backwards depending on the position that you need it to be in. Once it is in position, screw the knob nuts back down and tighten the hip pad straps on both sides of the kayak. The backrest is the easiest to adjust. It is adjusted by these ratchets up front. All you do, climb in your kayak once you've got all the foam in position, just before you're about to get on the river, and adjust it, pulling your back nice and tight, keeping you locked in place. I actually loosen it each time I climb out the kayak and retighten it each and every time I get in. It's that simple. The patella pad, or kneecap protector pad, is used for just that, to protect your kneecap up against the side of the boat. Climb into the kayak and feel where your kneecap hits the edge of the boat. It should be in a position somewhere here. Then, using contact adhesive, glue it in place. The thigh brace is probably the hardest item to adjust, but it's really quite simple. What you will need is a flat screwdriver. I always carry a Leatherman with me on the river, so it's pretty simple. All you got to do is take out these top 2 screws. Once they are out, the thigh brace will not fall out, as it is still held in position by a screw at the back. Now all you got to do is slide it either forward or backwards into the position that you would like. Once it's in position, put the screws back in. It may be a bit tough to slide it backwards and forwards once the screws are out, but with a little bit of pressure it slides. So guys, go out there and have the best day ever.